Good day, everyone. I'm Brian Bauer with Clark Construction Company, Project Superintendent. I'm going to give you a short training video on the roofing project at Pontiac Schools Kennedy Center. It's 86,500 square feet of tar and pitch removal and Tremco roofing system install. All right, enjoy. One of the first things you need to do is set up your site construction office. You have a spot where you have your weekly coordination meetings. You have a spot where you can work, where you have internet and print and scan capabilities. You also have all your required site office postings. We have our safety and environmental. We have our labor laws and OSHA, our Michigan laws and discrimination, and all the other required postings. We have our air horn for evacuation. We have our first aid kit, visitor policy, fuel storage, fire extinguisher, all our required file folders or wall pocket files. We have our project number with address. We have our contact list. We also have our site plan, which includes site sign, porta potties, laydown area, dumpster, roof access, and construction site office. We also have our schedule for roofing. With roofing, you don't always do a 3-week outlook because with weather, it's just impossible. So we do it by number of days in the areas that it will take to do that work. Have safety gear for visitors. Here we have our MSDS and safety manual from our sub. We have our required documents. Pre-task plans are required from every sub every Monday. And of course you've got your bi-weekly safety and environmental inspections. Our construction site sign has our Clark sign, has our contact list, and all the safety items. This is a treated lumber sign that I had made. It's anchored into the ground. And I gave the carpenters a drawing and a material list, and they still didn't do it. I didn't want any 2x4s on here. It looks neater with 4x4s, but it is what it is. It still looks pretty good. Very first things is establishing your laydown area and your storage area, your materials for delivery. Here we have our treated lumber, our adhesive, our ISO, and our composite roofing. We also have our river rock stone. Note contractor restabilizes all damage they do to landscaping. Here we have our guardrail system for the dump areas. There's a hopper for loading out the stone. There's our lull. You check it for hydraulic leaks and fire extinguisher, and make sure that you have a copy of your operator's card. Here you have your ladder, OSHA approved, 36 inches above deck and fastens the deck. There are your double-walled OSHA fuel containers. Porta potties, there needs to be one for every 10 people. And one phase that wasn't videoed is I had a back truck out here for a few days that took all the stone into areas that wasn't completely stuck down like this area. And that was done at the beginning of the project. Phase 1 roof removal. Make all the cuts to the existing roofing for removal. After the cuts are made, all the existing roof is shoveled up, put on these quad trailers, and taken over to the dumpsters. The existing gypsum deck is inspected for areas that need repair. This area right here, we will not do a gypsum repair. We will just do a 20 gauge metal repair over the crack. But the whole deck is inspected before the new roof is put down. Here's an area where we have to raise the curb to accommodate the new depth of the roof. These roofers protect themselves from the pitch. Example of us, we had to extend this width to accommodate the new height. Drains are plugged to protect pitch from going down and clogging the drains. 3.5 inch ISO insulation is mechanically fastened to the gypsum deck by pre-drilling 1.5 inches into the gypsum deck. This ISO is R20. The roofers have somebody working outside the warning line, so they have an observer constantly watching. It is mechanically fastened with 5-inch augers, 16 in the field, 24 on the perimeter, and 32 on outside corners. A 24-foot sump of tapered insulation is put around all roof drains. 24-foot sump again. ISO still going down. Still cleaning up 20 gauge metal being installed over deck, mechanically fastened. Next phase, treated lumber is installed to all roof edge to accommodate thickness of new roof. 1/4 inch dense deck is installed using low-rise foam adhesive. And these boards are put on top of the dense deck until the adhesion adheres. Sump insulation being cut. Dense deck continuing to go down. This is a cold adhesive, monolithically put down, 32 millimeters of adhesive, and then 3 composite layers of Tremco roofing. Broomed in. Overlapping system. Here's some of the equipment. This is, I think they call it a fall arrest cart to tie off on. Unless you put anchors into the roof deck, you can use this cart instead. Here's the walk behind saws for cutting the existing roofing. Got the quads and all the carts they use for hauling materials around. Generators with GFI protection. This is the spray rig for the low-rise foam adhesive. These are essentially like power shovels, just walk behinds that peel up the roofing after you've cut it. This is a pumping station for the code applied adhesive. cleat metal being installed to the roof edge using an observer, again because he's outside the 6-foot warning line. Cleat metal is installed to receive the color matched parapet finish metal at a later date. Detail work on this is the expansion joint. The expansion joint is filled with bad insulation, covered with flashing, and then 3-piece metal is installed over it that gives it room for expansion. Flashing is installed over the sumps, stripped in with 2-ply and adhesive. Pipe stands are installed under all conduit, and they are installed on top of walkway pads. Obviously, walkway pad is not installed on this one yet. Top installed after lead flashing. All new drain clamp rings and new domes.
But that's not all.
Finished lead boot on a soil stack. A treated lumber cantilever is put on all expansion joints and all curbs, so there's not a 90-degree angle in the roofing, which would be a fail point. This is an open expansion joint, an example of this is existing bad insulation, but we build up the top of this expansion joint with treated lumber and add more bad insulation. This is one of the old expansion joints, but the new one will look similar. Prior to construction, I had to have all this roof conduit raised up about 6 inches to accommodate the new thickness of the roof. This I had done through the schools. I had their subcontractor do it because it wasn't part of our contract, but we couldn't get this roofing in where this conduit was too low to the deck. Our bit of the environment, copper recycling. One of the final stages is installing 5/8-inch layer of river rock stone, broadcast installed on top of monolithic cold plied adhesive.